guys, Kim here, and you are tuned into Kim E, the Diabetes MP. Now, I made a video about the food guidelines over diabetes, and I'll make sure to link that there in the description box. But today I wanted to kind of talk about a food recall. Now, as we're talking to our patients and we're going over the different guidelines, the thing that I mentioned in the last video is that this is not a one size fits all. And what one person may struggle with, the next may not. And one of the ways that we can help our patients get more organized with their dietary needs and their nutritional needs is doing a food recall, a basic food recall. Not only will it help the patient, but it will help us to see what their eating patterns are. What do they struggle with, and when do they struggle with these things? And then we can be more focused as to how we tailor our education. So if today this is something that you're interested in learning about, stay tuned. We're going to get into it. So like I said, getting a food recall is very important, and getting it done accurately is because it gives us, the purpose of it is to give us an accurate view of what the patient's daily intake is. Okay. Now, you may have a patient that says, I eat healthy all the time and I'm still having high blood sugars, or I'm still gaining weight. I'm not losing weight at all. Well, something that a food recall will do, it'll actually key into the different times of day so we can see if the patient is snacking, or when they're hungry, what are the foods that they're tending to go through? Are they binge eating? Are they not eating regularly? And this is what a food recall can help us to see. Clearly, you can send your patient off to a dietitian, and of course, dietitians have very in-depth ways of doing this, but I do feel like this is something that we can at least start in our office in the primary care setting. And then when we send them over to the dietitian, we're sending them over with some information as well. I definitely believe that a dietitian should be on board. It's just like with the endocrinologist, with a podiatrist. That's a discipline that should be a part of the patient care team. But there are things that we can do that are not passing the buck. And so this is why I wanted to make this video today, to really go over what a food recall in the primary care should and could look like. Now, if you were to Google food recall, you'll see many different time periods. You'll see a 24-hour, you'll see 3-day, 5-day, even 7-day. Okay. But in my personal opinion, this is not like written in stone. It's not guidelines or anything like that. This is like the chemism of it all. My preference is I prefer a 3-day. And the reason why I don't like a 24-hour is because it doesn't really give us enough information. I mean, a person can eat well in one day, but the rest of the week eat horribly, okay? And vice versa. Maybe they had a horrible day where they just were so busy and all they ate were fast food restaurants, you know? So it's not enough information to really make decisions and to really base our education off of. When it comes to like a 5-day and a 7-day, I don't like them because I feel like it's too long of a time. I feel like the accuracy, the longer you go, decreases, as well as the patient may lose interest. And so they may forget to log in, or, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's just too exhausting, But at a 3-day, I feel like that's a perfect median. It gives us enough information where we can be able to really see where the problem points are and to be able to tailor our education appropriately. Now, again, like I said, I prefer 3-day. But there may be situations where you may need to get a 7-day, okay, with your patients. Only you know that, okay? And there may even be a situation where you may be having a patient in your office and you're talking and they're telling you about a situation, a problem. Maybe they had a day where their, blood sugar spiked, and maybe you'll do a quick 24-hour recall then. So I'm not saying that these things should not happen, but I do prefer a 3-day when I want to send my patient out to do it on their own. And if that is what you choose to do, there's a couple of things you want to keep in mind when you do this recall. For one, you want to avoid special occasions, okay? If you know the holidays are coming up, a birthday, a family celebration, something like that, that you feel that this patient is going to go and eat all the food or whatever they want to eat, it's probably not the best time to do a food recall, because what we're trying to see are patterns, okay? We're trying to see how the person typically eats. And around the holidays, we typically don't eat that way all the time, okay? Celebrations, birthdays, we don't eat that way all the time. We're not eating birthday cake all the time. You see what I'm saying? So you want to get a time that's a typical time for them. Also, you want to take, if you're going to do the 3-day, you want to take 2 of those days for weekdays, and you want to take 1 day for a weekend day. So then you can see how the person eats throughout the week and how they eat on the weekends. Now, think about yourself. I know for me, during the week, I eat a certain way, but then on the weekend, I may go out. Currently, I'm not going out because we're in the midst of a pandemic, but I may go to date night, or I may go over to a family or friend's house and eat over there. The weekend and the weekday are 2 different things. So you want to get a clear, again, we want to see how the person typically eats day to day. And everybody goes through weekdays and weekends. Now, some normal basic components that you would want to have would be time. When they eat, okay? So do they eat? Do they go the whole day without eating and then they just binge eat? Okay, so whenever they're logging whatever they're eating, you want to explain to them that they need to have a time. Okay, also you want to have them put down the food or beverage description. What was it that they ate? What was the amount of food that they ate? Okay. All of this is important because you want to see trends. This is how you see trends. Now, something that I think is very useful, because we are in a society that does a lot of emotional eating, is to have the patient rate how they were feeling when they were hungry, like prior to eating and then after. Were they starving? Were they, I was hungry. I knew I needed to eat because I was going to get busy later. You want them to kind of rate that. And you can do this in a journal form. They can just write it off to the side, or you can actually give them a scale where from 0 to 10, how hungry were you? Okay. And then they can rate it. Okay. This is really good to see, because if you're seeing when they ate, this is how you can pick up on, again, trends. But did they binge eat? Did they wait too long to eat and then they ate everything in sight? Also, location and feelings at the time. Again, this goes into your emotional eating, but it would be very useful to see if a person is a late night snacker. They eat a lot at night while they're watching TV, okay? You can, with the feelings, you can see, are they eating when they're sad? Are they eating when they're busy or stressed or when they're bored? And you can point these things out to people so they are aware of it. A lot of times, if you're just aware of your behavior, you can change it because now you know what to look out for. So that is just something that I would like to throw in there. I'm not saying that you have to do that, but I think for me, that is something that's very beneficial, because then you can start getting behind the psychology behind it and where their headspace is in it. Okay, guys, that's all I have for you right now. This is a much quicker video than the last video. Again, I'm going to link that video down in the description box, as well as the freebie that I made that summarized the food guidelines when it comes to diabetes. I do want to ask you guys, if you're not already, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me over on Instagram. I'm really active over there at the Diabetes NP. And one thing I want to say to you before I leave, got to make sure that I say this: let us never, ever leave a nurse behind. Bye-bye.